She is here with us. Daisy ma'am, yes, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Karuna. First of all, I would like to extend a warm thanks to Principal Ma'am and Hemant sir for giving me this opportunity to talk on this most relevant topic of the day, which has affected millions and millions of lives across the globe. Yes, we are talking about the impacts, the lessons we can learn from the strategies from administrative reforms from this COVID-19. This, as far as the lessons concerned are concerned, I am reminded of Mary Parker Follett's thought when she says that conflicts are not always negative. We should see them as constructive opportunities to learn where we need to work upon. Yes, same way, disasters are always not negative. We learn so much from them. We can build upon the knowledge which we can use to configure to make better lives for the future generations and the times to come. This goes very well with the disaster management, as disaster teach us two things: a moment to react and a decision to overcome. We have heard John D. Rockefeller when he says that I always try to turn every disaster into an opportunity. नेगेटिव कैसे नहीं होता, क्योंकि आप देखिए कि कोरोना की रिपोर्ट नेगेटिव आना इस समय में अपने आप में एक पॉजिटिव चीज है. इसलिए हम कैसे डिजास्टर से सीख सकते हैं, कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, कैसे अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को और ज्यादा प्रॉम्प्ट, और ज्यादा प्रोएक्टिव, और ज्यादा पॉजिटिव बना सकते हैं, रिस्पॉन्सिव बना सकते हैं, वो हम इन डिजास्टर से सीखते हैं. Indeed, we cannot stop natural disasters, but we can arm ourselves with the knowledge. We can save so many lives, men and material with proper disaster preparedness. Before we start about the topic, I would like to share one unique thing with you, that we always call these disasters as natural disaster and try to convey if the nature was the executioner and not the victim. But it happens the opposite way. When we victimize the nature, when we play with the nature, when we exploit the nature, when we plunder the nature, only then disasters happen. So if we start to live in a disaster, in a sustainable manner, in a sustainable development, we will have less of the disasters. Yes, natural disasters are in nobody's control, but we can minimize their impact. This is all we have to learn about the disaster management. And talking about the COVID-19, this is one of the uniquest disaster the humankind, the history of mankind has ever witnessed. It is unique because it is pan-global. No country is spared by this pandemic. We are witnessing its effect in all the countries across the globe, whether they are Asian country, European country, any country, rich, poor, everybody is being harassed by COVID-19. And this is also unique because we don't know if it is a natural disaster, if it is a man-made disaster. There are guesses, there are reports that the virus of COVID-19 has been originated in China, but still we don't know actual situation, what is going on about the COVID-19. COVID-19 has brought with itself so many challenges. This virus is unique, this disaster is unique because we have not heard that a single microorganism has shut the entire world completely down for more than around 100 days. Lockdown in one way or other, because somewhere like in India, government has started it, and in other countries, people themselves are restraining themselves to go out of from their houses just to save their lives. So this has posed a great challenge to humankind as far as loss of life is concerned, credit crisis is concerned, collapse of economy. We are witnessing at a large scale that the economy has shattered, and there are so many threats in front of the global world leaders how to deal with it. It has so much to teach us on the same way. As far as it is posing the challenges, on the same way, it is posing us great lessons. We can learn from it politically, socially, economically, culturally. हालांकि इन सबको अलग अलग सेग्रीगेट करना मुझे नहीं लगता we will be doing justice with it, because all these have a cumulative effect. Now we cannot separate politics from administration or society for economy. All these have a cumulative effect, and we learn so many lessons which I have divided my this talk in two parts. In first part, we will learn about the lessons we have learned from this COVID, and then I will talk about the administrative reforms we need to bring in this post COVID-19 scenario. The first thing we have learned in this COVID situation is that we cannot always underestimate the nature or taken it for granted. Homo sapien is the only organism that has overpowered all the animals, taken control of the whole planet, and even set his foot on the moon, and we are ready to shift to Mars also. We have thought that we are the master of the earth. Earth's resources are there to serve us, and we forget that whenever there is extra over exploitation of the earth, earth finds its way to survive. And this is all happening that we are, the entire human mankind with its entire technological progress, is at standstill with a microorganism which we can't even see with naked eyes. So the first lesson we learn from it is that we must respect nature, we must be in line with nature, ecological environment, so that we can live in a sustainable way, so that we have so many of resources, we have so many alternates when such kind of things come up. Second thing we have, particularly in India, have learned from COVID-19 is about hygiene. I think COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise, because in India, which has very, very less hygienic culture before coming to post COVID, because before, if we talk about the Indian generations, then definitely Indian culture had a long tradition. Like whenever you used to come from outside, we used to wash our hand, we used to take clean water, and then we used to enter our home. But suddenly with modernization, with westernization, we had left that, and now again we are talking about hygiene, we are talking about sanitation, and this has come a great way in teaching us so many lessons, I must say. Next thing, the COVID-19, the great lesson from COVID-19 is regarding that we have learned equality. COVID has brought all of us together at the same platform. Everybody is vulnerable to COVID equally. It doesn't discriminate on the basis of caste, on the basis of religion, on the basis of race, on the basis of country, on the basis of wealth, gender, and so far. It means equality is one thing which nature wants us to imbibe, and COVID has really taught us this lesson that we should be equal in all the senses, and government should take care of everybody, because everybody is vulnerable to all the pandemic like COVID. Moreover, it has also taught the world about the interdependence. Every country may be self-sufficient in itself, but it cannot survive without depending upon other. We have a long saying in India like Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, but it is the time in the COVID which has proved that we cannot find with this monster without coming together. Even the strongest economies of the world like US, they are asking for the help from India for medicine. It means whatever you are, however powerful you are, somewhere or other you lack in one thing, and for that you need the support of others. Next thing which I want to share about the lesson about this is the voluntary participation of people always make the governance better. We have seen so many people working together to reduce the griefs, the sufferings of millions and millions of laborers. If you would have come to the northern belt, definitely the things are happening in Maharashtra also. We have seen such a brilliant hero, Sonu Sood, who has come up and motivating the people to help the laborers, the migrants in such an exceptional way. And the same way, there are so many langars, foods, shelters going on all across the way where the migrants are moving. People are providing them food, people are providing them chappals, their sandals, the footwears, and whatnot. It shows that government has not the only responsibility. Government only cannot deal with it. We need to have voluntary participation, the participation of people, aware people, sensitive people. Only then we are in real situation to deal with any pandemic whatsoever it is. These are some of the lessons, and one important lesson which comes is the social and psychological well-being of a human being. Whenever development is concerned in public administration or in the policy circles, we mainly talk about only and only about the what we say economic development. We don't talk about the social well-being and the psychological well-being, which are very well brought up in this matter of COVID-19. As the time is less, I will be directly shifting myself from the reforms. In public administration, a brilliant scholar, F.W. Rigg, had said there are two types of reforms: exogenous reforms and endogenous reforms. And today, what COVID has presented India is about endogenous reforms, because we ourselves has felt that there is need of reforms, and these reforms are going to be long lasting. The first reform which COVID has taught us, that we are faced with health emergency. COVID is a health emergency, and we need massive reforms on the scale of health. We need massive reforms at health. Health is very, very important. UN Fundamental Declaration has regarded health as a very fundamental right of human mankind. Out of 8 million development goals, 3 have been set for health. And India, the condition for health is very poor. We spend only around 1.3% of GDP towards the health, be it any government, be it any administration. And in India, out of pocket expenditure of people on health is 85.6 according to the last report of the government of India itself. We have very low density of skilled human resources in health. According to the World Health Statistics 2018, India has only 7 physicians per 10,000 and 17.1 nurses per 10,000 population, which is very below, or more you can say half the global average indicators. So we need to invest on health. This is the first reform we can learn from the COVID. We really need to invest. We need to build up primary health centers as are built up in Kerala and Goa, and this has shown the exception that how they are performing very well in this COVID-19. My next reform, which I have think that this COVID-19 has made us very prompt, is about improving education. We have seen that there are so many rumors spreading about the COVID because people are not able to understand the treatment they are doing to nurses and doctors in the fear of that they will get infected, is just because these people are not properly educated. They are not aware citizen. Education is not about the degrees. It is about inculcating the desired behavior, which I am talking about, the desired behavioral change we are talking about. Then it should be proper education. We need to invest in quality education. The third reform which COVID has made necessary and brought our attention to is reforms of digital India. Because we are seeing that in post COVID-19 scenario, all the work is done online. Even in all the classes are running online. All our seminars have turned into webinars. Drone surveillance is done. Arogya Setu app is helping people, the government, to understand, to surface, to chase the people who are infected with corona. So this all his work is done on data. So data and working on this data, improving the digital administration is really very important. We need to work upon that, particularly in rural areas. Like in Rajasthan University, we are not able to start the classes given many of the students are in rural areas and there is no connectivity, so we cannot run the online classes. So this poses India is with a wonderful reform opportunity to work in the digital India scenario. Next reform which COVID brings into our notice is strengthen rural areas. Why more of the COVID cases are coming up in Mumbai and Delhi, like cities? Because they are overcrowded. So why there the infection is spreading at a high rate. And why they are overcrowded? Because people in rural areas are not able to get the desired facilities, the desired things. If we develop the rural area, there will be less migration, there will be less issue of development of managing the people, and we will be at better edge. Another important aspect which COVID-19 has brought into notice for this COVID administrative reform is strengthening the social administration. We need not develop only the economy, we need not develop only the infrastructure, but we take care of the vulnerable section of the society. The kind of situation we are seeing of the laborers, of the daily wages, it is really heart-wrenching. And the government need to ensure that they get at least a minimum daily wages, minimum quality life. So we need to work upon this also. Then another lesson which COVID-19 has taught us is about the strengthening of disaster at the state levels too. No doubt, after tsunami, after National Disaster Management Act of 2005, we are doing really good, really wonderful at national level. As we have seen in the Amphan case of Amphan, we have really managed it well. The kind of severity it was and the kind of casualty we have faced, there is a great difference and we are managing it well. But we need to strengthen this disaster management authority at the state levels too. In Odisha, we are seeing that they are pretty well managing the COVID. And they have managed the Amphan also at the same time, because their state development, disaster development authority is really working efficiently, and this can be a lesson for the entire people and entire management for the post-COVID scenario. We also need coordination at center and state level. That is very, very important. As we have seen in Maharashtra, when the trains were sent for the migrant laborers, somehow there was miscommunication between center and state governments. That's why trains went empty. No list were provided by the states. Trains are reaching some another destination. States are sending them on another destination. So a proper need of coordination is very much required at center and state level. The government also need to come up with a mechanism of cyber security, of spreading the rumors, as information is key, but over information or misinformation is poison. Lakhs of laborers came on the street due to wrong messages, wrong information that government has started the trains or so forth. So government need to work upon this cyber security and controlling this social media rumors also. Then we have another important lesson also, that is people's participation is very important in managing the governance. Like we have seen Lav Bhargav coming daily at 4 p.m., sharing the information with the people, maintaining regular communication with the people. This is really very, very important. Next is infrastructure building and self-reliant. What we have witnessed in this COVID-19, that we were in shortage of hospitals, shortage of beds, shortage of ventilators, not even a single PPE kit was made in the country. So these kind of things are really sad for a democracy of billions of people. So we really need to be self-reliant, and at least as far as the basic infrastructure is concerned. We also need proper planning. As laborers, we see, which is evident from the case of laborers. The laborers should have been sent to the homes after first lockdown, and government is sending them home when we are opening up the economy. So there is a divergence. There is clash of interest between both the facts. We need to work upon this. We also need to reimpose people's faith in government, which is given a wonderful opportunity, like people are believing in police and everything. So we need to work upon them. Yes, sir. So we need to we need to use this disaster to reimpose people's faith in government, as people are appreciating police, people are appreciating doctors. So government should use this disaster to repair the tarnished image, as people used to say government does nothing, but in disaster it is only the government which is coming to the forefront. So this has changed the approach of public administration also. Earlier we were talking about more of privatization, but now we have to think that critical services like education, like health, like infrastructure cannot be relegated entirely to private sector. Government needs to there to back up the vulnerable section of the society, to really make a welfare system of the society. These are some of the reforms which COVID has made us to learn about, to do about, and I'm sure with a bigger leadership, with bigger awareness, more awareness on the part of people. We are certainly going to work upon it.